Sharks. As they make their way to the field, we'd like to take this time to introduce your Shadow Creek Cheerleaders. And now, your Shadow Creek varsity cheerleaders. Freshman Leah Geeson. Sophomore Journey Carter. Sophomore Christian Edwards. Sophomore Chloe Taylor. Junior All-American Kennedy Allen. Junior All-American Lacey Geeson. Junior Madeline Hughes. Junior two-time All-American Justice Kendrick. Junior Trinity Rugale. Senior four-time All-American Keegan Cole. Senior Taylor Kendall. Senior two-time All-American Demaya Lewis. Senior All-American Ariana McAllister. Senior All-American Alana Noel. Senior two-time All-American Layla Singleton. Senior Jocelyn Smith. And senior two-time All-American and two-time Best Mascot of the Year, Finn the Shark. Your cheerleaders are coached by head coach Faith Lyons and assistant coach Brandy Nickerson. And now, your cheerleaders for the Broncos. Freshman Zara Duru. Freshman Ashley Jones. Sophomore Kaylee Dunn. Junior Malaya Green. Junior Ariana Ortiz. Senior Shanice Bryant. Senior Kai Holiday. Senior All-American and co-captain Bailey Boxey. Senior All-American and co-captain Kendall Bogan. And Senior All-American and captain Ariana Morganfield. Your Broncos are coached by head coach Michelle Bradford. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if I can direct your attention to midfield for our tonight's good sportsmanship exchange. The students for Shadow Creek are Sasha Bowie and Cheerleaders, and for Bush are Jaden Ford. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the video board for a message from our Superintendent, Carol Nelson.
Hello, I'm Carol Nelson, proud Superintendent of Alvin ISD. Welcome to Freedom Field. For 100 years, Alvin ISD has built champions on the field, in the classroom, and in life. As we celebrate a century of excellence, we remember the true victory lies not just in the score, but in how we play the game. Every contest is more than a competition. It's a classroom, a place to learn resilience, respect, and responsibility. Let's honor our legacy with integrity, compete with heart, and always remember sportsmanship is the mark of a true champion. Thank you for coming this evening to support our students, and may you have safe travels headed home. Here's to 100 years and the next 100 to come.
Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this playoff football game between Shadow Creek High School and Fort Bend Bush High School. This game is being conducted according to the rules and regulations of the University Interscholastic League. Regardless of the outcome of tonight's game, all of the players have proven their willingness to work and sacrifice in order to achieve athletic excellence. We ask that as a spectator, you consider the time and effort each of these teams, coaches, and athletes have put forth. Cheer these young athletes, applaud them, but do not, through any of your actions, cause them to doubt the value of athletics. By your conduct, allow these young people to feel pride in their communities and school. While your sportsmanlike actions may play only a small part in the outcome of this game, it will play a greater role in continuing to encourage competitive athletics. We also ask that you show your appreciation for the students who will be taking part indirectly in tonight's game, the cheerleaders, the bands, the drill teams, and the students who have supported their teams at home and away. These young people play an integral part in their team's success. The officials for this game have been mutually agreed upon by school officials for both schools. Their role is not unlike those of players, coaches, teachers, and school administrators. Without them, this game would not be possible. Their knowledge and application of the rules are a result of annual testing, years of study, and continual participation in clinics that further refine their game. We ask you as students, parents, and citizens to demonstrate the kind of respect for these officials you would extend to any dedicated person in a position of responsibility. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Shadow Creek alma mater. Now entering the field, your Shadow Creek Sharks. Now entering the field, the George Bush Broncos. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you are a first responder, a former or active member of our nation's armed forces, will you please rise so your service and sacrifice can be truly honored? At this time, football fans, please give a hearty round of applause to show the gratitude and appreciation for these servant leaders who give so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the video board for a message from our student athletes.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Hey, Mom and Dad.
What's up, Shark fans? Get them up. Get them going. Fans up, Creek.
Hey, Grandma.
Hey, Aunt Sammy.
Hey, sis.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Hey, Mom and Dad.
Hey, it's important, so listen up. I made a commitment to play the Texas way, so it's important to play with respect for others.
I will not let my opponent become my enemy. I will not cheat or cut corners.
I've made a commitment to play the Texas way. That means I play with the control of self.
I will slow my anger down. I will act based on my standards.
I made a commitment to play the Texas way. That means I play with a spirit of competition.
I will prepare myself inside and out. I will bounce back when I get knocked down, and I will compete with a passion to be my absolute best.
So my question for you is this: will you commit to support me the Texas way?
It means having my back. It means cheering loudly, but it doesn't mean putting other people down. It doesn't mean yelling at the ref, and it doesn't mean letting my passion become a distraction.
You say it, Coach says it too. My actions are about more than just me. It's about representing the name on the front of the jersey and the name on the back.
It's about more than the scoreboard. It's about using sports to become all that I can become, and having fun while I'm doing it.
I couldn't do it without you, and I wouldn't want to. I made a commitment to the Texas way. Will you make it with me?
Ladies and gentlemen, let us now observe a moment of silence in the spirit of this competition. At this time, let us all remember and acknowledge the prevailing sense of fair play and the safety of all players, coaches, parents, officials, and spectators involved tonight. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you rise and remove your hats. Please direct your attention to Freedom Field's north end zone. The Alvin High School Marine Corps Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps will be presenting the colors during the singing of our national anthem. This evening performed by the Shadow Creek High School Soundwaves under the direction of Frankie Espinoza and Jennifer Gallagher.
All right, welcome in to Freedom Field here. Texas high school football is just about to begin, and we have the Fort Bend Bush Broncos going up against the Shadow Creek Sharks. My name is Kyle Harris. I'll be with you on the call here tonight. Looking forward to a great game between both these teams. They both played well enough to make it into the playoffs, and here they are facing off against one another. Shadow Creek coming in with a 7-3 overall record, 6-2 in district. And for Fort Bend Bush, they're coming in 6-4 overall with a 4-3 record in district play. A couple names to look out for on the Shadow Creek side of things. They're led by junior quarterback Tavis Coleman, followed by Tristan Willis in the backfield behind him, and Jalen Adai is their leading receiver. He's been great this year. I've been able to catch a couple of Shadow Creek games, so looking forward to seeing Coleman and Adai connect on a few throws. So we have the captains coming out here. Number 11, Carter Stort. Next to him, Eno Beauchamp. Number 42, Tommy Baker. And then on the Bush side of things, number 77, Isaiah Neal Woodward. Number 10, McBride Ndweke. And number 7, David Nwadu. Is there discussing the coin flip. Couple people look out to on Fort Bend Bush. Sophomore quarterback Jameer Young has been great for them this year, along with their pair of running backs in the backfield, Jamarian Jones and Brandon Smith. Brandon Smith, one of the running backs out there, and David Nwadu, one of their senior defensive ends there. As we'll hear from the officials here who gets the ball
Bush
first.
has won the toss, elected to defer.
Okay. So there we go. We'll be Shadow Creek receiving the ball first as the captains shake hands, and it'll be Bush getting the ball in the second half. Chris Stort, the senior wide receiver out there for Shadow Creek, as well as one of the captains. Shadow Creek, very high explosive offense. I think they're going to get started early. Last game, it was Brandon LaFell, the freshman who just got called up from JV, ended up taking a return all the way back to the house for 6. So we'll see if they elect to have LaFell out there in the back or a die. But really looking forward to this game. Bush, they could score a lot too. There was a couple weeks ago, they ended up winning a game 74-71 against Fort Bend Austin. So Bush, high octane offense as well, but gives up a lot of points on the other end as well. Head coach over at Shadow Creek, Tyrone Green, along with some assistant coaches, Renee Glapion, defensive coordinator Marcus McGraw over on the Bronco coaching staff. They're led by head coach Clonius McNeil, assistant head coach Nate Schallenberger, offensive coordinator Donald Harvey, and defensive coordinator Joe Ayala. And Jalen Adai is in the backfield, is back there to return for Shadow Creek, as we're about to have the kickoff right now. It's going to be number 86, Anthony Garcia, kicking the ball off. And we are underway. Texas high school football here. Shadow Creek going to catch it at the 31, making him miss a couple of tackles. And there he is, Mr. Brandon LaFell Jr. getting that one and getting it to the 38-yard line for Shadow Creek to start out. Very good field position for the Sharks. A couple guys to watch out for on the defensive end for Fort Bend Bush. Number 1, Robert Bankhead. Number 7, David Nwadu. Number 10, McBride Dukwe. And number 11, Toby Aladende. As Shadow Creek comes out in their powder blue tops, black pants. Broncos are in the white jerseys across from them. It's Tavis Coleman back there with Tristan Willis to his right. He's going to hand it off to Willis. Willis cuts up field, breaks a tackle. It's number 14, Devin Jacobs, the senior defensive back, to get to him, but nice gain of 3 yards there for Tristan Willis. Shadow Creek, big pass run game. Also see a lot of RPOs in them as well, trying to get Jalen Adai out there on an island. Coming across in motion is Bryce Coleman. He's going to stack up right next to Adai. Tavis Coleman gets it. Little read option, and Coleman's going to take off. Coleman's got some room to run, and he gets taken down by Robert Bankhead right across around the 40-yard line. And it's going to be an injury timeout.
Injury timeout.
On one of the Broncos. Really nice run there by Tavis Coleman to get that first down. Read that defense perfectly. Not handing the ball off to Willis. And we'll just wait and see who the injured Bronco is. I'll get that info to you as soon as I can. Looks like he's up on his feet and walking off with his own power. Looked like it was De'Aaron Davis, one of the senior defensive ends, but yep, it is De'Aaron Davis, as they just said over the PA. So first down for Shadow Creek. Luckily, De'Aaron Davis was able to walk off to the sideline under his own power. And back out is Tavis Coleman. Tristan Willis to his right. He's going to hand it off to Willis now. Willis going to cut upfield. And a nice gain of 5 yards there for Willis and the Shadow Creek offense. Right now, it's all been Tristan Willis and Tavis Coleman, but eventually they're going to go find Adai on the outside as we see the replay here. Great run there by Willis, able to stay low and keep those legs moving. Churning for a nice 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Sharks. Coleman giving commands to the offense. Snaps it, throws over to Jalen Adai. Adai trying to break a tackle. But nice job scooping him up there. Drayshawn Taylor, one of the sophomore defensive backs for Fort Bend Bush. But a first down nonetheless, and it's exactly what I saw from Shadow Creek early in the year. A little fake handoff to Willis and throwing it to the out to Jalen Adai. Let him get some space and let him work. Coleman gets it. Hands it off to Willis. Willis breaks the tackle. Is cutting to the left. Over to the sideline. He's running, and right in the 5-yard line goes Tristan Willis. Oh, and Willis is down. He's hurt.
Injury timeout.
He got hurt on that tackle. Maybe he dropped immediately. Hopefully it's just a cramp for Tristan Willis. They're leading back. Does look like he landed a little bit awkwardly there on the side. That'll be a huge loss for Shadow Creek if he's not able to get back up in this game. As we have the trainers looking at him. But what a great run there by Tristan Willis. And Tavis Coleman reading the defense perfectly. I'm assuming a lot of these plays are read options. He can hand it off to Willis. He can take it himself, or he can go the outside to Jalen Adai. That time handed off to Willis, and Willis had a whole lot of room to run 2 yards away from getting in the end zone for Shadow Creek's first touchdown. They are going to get Willis up. And looks like he's going to be helped off by a couple of trainers. So we'll see the status on Willis there. Coming in to replace him is going to be number 3, J.C.R. Pace. Pace has done a great job next to Willis this year, and there he goes in. Touchdown. Tavis Coleman handed off to JC Pace, and Pace going to take it 2 yards in for the touchdown. So there we are in the first quarter, 9 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Shadow Creek gets on the board first with JC Pace in the handoff, coming on to kick the extra point. It's going to be Samuel Delgado. Or excuse me, it's 82 Nick Signs. Nick Signs coming on for the extra point. Kick is up. And it's good. So we have the replay here. Just great vision there. And Tavis Coleman knew it. Throws his hands up as JC Pace goes in for the 2-yard touchdown. Shadow Creek leading Georgia Bush Broncos 7-0 here at Freedom Field. See how the Broncos respond. It's a great first drive there by Shadow Creek. Lot of runs, a lot of read options, and luckily the running back core was able to get it done. Tristan Willis taking it majority of the way in. He's talking to a trainer on the sideline with his helmet off. Hopefully he'll be able to go again. It does look like he's moving well. He's up and walking around, trying to walk off whatever was aching him on that tackle. So hopefully he'll be back in for Shadow Creek. But a really great job by Tavis Coleman. Jalen and I also getting into the work as well. Here comes Samuel Delgado on for the kick. See how Fort Bend Bush and the Broncos respond to an early 7-0 lead by Shadow Creek. The kick by Delgado is off, and receiving it is Rokib Okunu. Okunu making his way up to the 25-yard line. Okunu, one of their leading wide receivers when it comes to receiving yards per game, as it's going to be Jameer Young, sophomore quarterback, going out there for Fort Bend Bush. Great job there to corral him at the 25-yard line. In the backfield's Brandon Smith. He's going to hand it off to Smith. Smith, no room to run, gets met immediately by some Shadow Creek defensive ends. And that was number 0, Langston Taylor, senior linebacker. As he's pumped up, he's ready. His first senior playoff games, you see him coming through right here, bursting through the gap. And Langston Taylor gets a big tackle for loss for the first down for Shadow Creek, or first down for Fort Bend Bush. See what Young has here. Young going to hand it off to Smith again. Same play and same result. This time wrapped up by a number of Shadow Creek guys. Evan Moorhead, the senior outside linebacker, was there first. As you see him getting there, number 9. Just a corral of guys. Number 95, Aaron Warner, there as well. Just no room to run there for Brandon Smith and the Fort Bend Bush Broncos. See what Jameer Young and company have. Now on a 3rd and long, stand all the way on their own on their 20-yard line. 3rd and 15 coming up. Young's going to drop back. He throws, it's open. Nice catch, and close to a first down is going to be number 16, Torian Elam. And they are going to give him the first down. Interesting. Almost dropped it there by Elam, but he was able to haul it in, and nice play by Young there to find the open receiver and to give him the ball. Jameer Young handing it off. Nope, he's going to keep it himself. Fake, and Langston Taylor right there to bring him down. Another big tackle for Langston Taylor as he gives a little Matumbo finger wag, letting everybody know can't get by him. That time it was number 5, Jamarian Jones. As I said, they have a co-backfield. Jones and Smith were pretty even when it comes to rushing yards per game, sitting around 70 to 75 yards for the season. This time he is going to hand it off to Jones. Jones going to bounce off a tackle and keep going. Nice run there by Jamarian Jones. It's a big gain of 6 yards and sets up a nice 3rd and short here for the Broncos. So run the ball early on the first couple downs. They had to let it go on a big 3rd and 15, was able to find his sophomore wide receiver, Alma, and get the first down. Now it's been Young and Jones moving the ball here after. 3rd and 4 coming up. Broncos sitting at their 41-yard line. This time Jones going to set up behind Young. Young going to the right, throwing, and finds Alma again on a little slant route right around the 50-yard line. Really nice job by sophomore quarterback Jameer Young. Great throw. And way to haul it in there by Torian Alma. So if they keep the pattern going, be a run here by the Broncos. They've run it the 1st and 2nd down and drop back to pass on the 3rd down. So see what they do here. It is Jamarian Jones to the right side of Young. So they're trying to get the play call in. 3 receivers to his left. And this time Young's just going to take off. He's going to try and get to the outside numbers. He does, but not able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Really nice job by Shadow Creek defensive ends, not letting him get to that outside. And it's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. So there's a handful of guys right there. 95 Warner getting in, Langston Taylor, and it's number 22 Aaron Alexander knocking him out of bounds. Right around the 49-yard line. Got some big boys up front for Fort Bend Bush, led by number 78, Demarius Lewis, 6'5", 350-pound senior offensive lineman. Almost picked off, but what a catch there by the Broncos. And going and taking it all the way in for a touchdown is Darius Williams. The junior wide receiver able to bounce off a tackle from Shadow Creek and take it all the way into the end zone for the Broncos' first touchdown of the game. Or excuse me, Anthony Poe. Anthony Poe getting the first touchdown for Fort Bend Bush, excuse me. Senior wide receiver. Did a great job of hauling that one in. I thought that might have been intercepted by Shadow Creek with how close of a play that was. And they're going to do a fake extra point. That didn't go anywhere, as that was number 6, Brandon Smith, their leading running back, trying to get outside. And here we go back and see the play. Jameer Young saw it the whole way, throws it into coverage, but able to pick it up and go all the way to the house as he got outside the numbers was Anthony Poe. And just like that, the Broncos score 6 minutes to go in this first quarter. They did not elect to kick the extra point, though. They tried to go for 2 on a fake field goal attempt and ended up getting stuffed. Shadow Creek leads George Bush 7-6. All right, and here for the Broncos, Anthony Garcia. Here ready to kick it off for Fort Bend, and in the back for Shadow Creek, their lead receiver, Jalen Adai. Kick is up. It's going to go LaFell again. LaFell, this time not as successful as the last time. It's pretty much going to be right where he caught it, right at about the 33-yard line is where the Sharks will start. Actually give him the 34. So here comes Tavis Coleman in the offense. Didn't take them long to put points up on the board in this game. I'm looking to see if I can find Tristan Willis back there. See if he comes out, and he will. Tristan Willis back out there for Shadow Creek. Tavis Coleman at the helm. Willis to his right. One receiver up, two receivers down. He's going to hand it off to Willis. And there he goes, right where he left off. Right at that hash mark. Nice run by Willis. Nice gain of 4 yards. 2nd and 6 coming up for Shadow Creek. So right now they've been able to run the ball with ease on this little read option. Willis able to bounce off some tackles. Out the 38-yard line here for the Sharks. 3 receivers up, 1 receiver down. This time Coleman's going to fake the pass, and he's going to take off. Thinking about throwing it, but elects to just take it for about 2 yards there to the 40-yard line. It's Tavis Coleman. I think he was a little bit confused. Tried to find a receiver to his right. Couldn't find anybody open. And then he started to scramble. Thought he saw someone else. Then he decided to just scramble again. Nice job there by McBride. Dukwe, one of the leading tacklers, senior leading tackler here for the Broncos. In motion, it's going to be Aiden Starling. Looking for Starling, looking for something downfield. Coleman's going to escape the pocket, throws it to Starling downfield. Oh my goodness, almost intercepted. But not able to haul it in was Starling. I think it might have got tipped there by the Broncos. That was number 2, Rokiba Kunu. It's also the leading wide receiver there. Kunu getting his hand on the ball. And just like that, it's going to be 3 and out, 4 and out for Shadow Creek. They're bringing the punt unit on. 4th and 4. And the punt is up. Nick Signs gets a nice Shadow Creek bounce, goes inside the 20, inside the 15, close to the 10-yard line. And they're going to spot it down at the 11-yard line of Fort Bend Bush. George Bush with a big stop on that last drive. We'll see if they can move the ball down the field like they did on the last one. Anthony Poe, the senior wide receiver, was covered, but ended up catching it, able to break off a tackle and take it all the way in the house. 4-6. Man, big number 78, Demarius Lewis, senior, 6'5", 350. Big left tackle on the offensive line. 74, Amari Dukwe, 6'5", 320. The junior. And this time it's going to be a run by Jameer Young. Young going to take it 3 yards. Little QB zone there. It's a nice little run by Jameer Jones. Trying to give Bush a little bit more room, get him outside their end zone. As we have an offensive substitution, they're going to wait. Let's see if the defense wants to make a substitution. They elect not to. And here it is, Jameer Young. He's going to hand it off. Going up the middle, trying to break some tackles, but going nowhere. It's going to be number 6, Brandon Smith. Had nowhere to go there, and really nice job by Shadow Creek. Tommy Baker, senior linebacker, right there to stuff him, as you see number 42. Baker not letting him go anywhere, along with Nathan Harris. And brings up a 3rd down. 3rd and 6 to go for George Bush and the Broncos. See what head coach Clonius McNeil and Young draw up here. Young didn't see anybody open. He's going to go trying to escape the pocket, but goes nowhere. Host of Shadow Creek defenders all around him, bringing him down. It's big number 55, Denham Scott, junior defensive lineman. You see Young just had nowhere to go with the ball. There he is, and there's Langston Taylor as well. Host of Shadow Creek defenders, and on to punt. For Bush. Kick is off. Low squib. It's going to go Brandon LaFell. We've seen LaFell take it all the way to the house once this season. This time he's going to get wrapped up right in the 34-yard line. On to kick was De'Aaron Davis. Davis with a low squib kick. Try to maybe get it by LaFell. But it's going to be great field position for Shadow Creek as Bush was backed up inside their own 20-yard line. It's going to be Shadow Creek taking it at Bush's 33. Minute 44 left to go in this game. Hasier Pace with the first touchdown for Shadow Creek. The junior running backs came in for Tristan Willis, and then for Ben Bush, it was Anthony Poe, senior wide receiver, taking it to the house for 6. Broncos elected to go for 2 on the extra point. Did not get it on the fake field goal attempt. Score sits 7-6. Coleman is going to hand it off to Pace. Pace going all the way into the end zone, 33 yards for his 2nd touchdown of the game. Jasier Pace for the Shadow Creek Sharks. One play is all it took, 33 yards to the house, and Pace has 2 touchdowns on the night for Shadow Creek. Great run, had all that space set up by his blockers up front. It's going to be Nick Signs on for the extra point. Kick is good. And here we see on the replay, Coleman just handed it off to Pace. And what great blocking downfield that was by Shadow Creek, taking it all the way into the end zone. Sharks 14, Broncos 6 here at Freedom Field. All right, Samuel Delgado on to kick the ball off for Shadow Creek. Shadow Creek 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, led by Jacier Pace. Junior running back has both touchdowns. Took one play on the last drive and 33 yards into the end zone for the Sharks. And the kick is off for Delgado. Bush all the way in the end zone. Gonna elect to take it back, but slips and falls right at their own 3-yard line. What a mistake there. That was number 12, Josiah McNeely, one of their leading wide receivers, and just slipped and fell right at the 3-yard line for Bush. Really, really tough field position. I thought he might just elect to kneel it in the end zone, but all that momentum as he tried to run forward stopped him right at the 3-yard line. So here comes Jameer Young and the George Bush Broncos. We'll see what they elect to do inside their 3-yard line. I'm sure Shadow Creek's going to be trying to get in that end zone. It's going to be Jamarian Jones behind him. Big running back, and bounce off some tackles. It's going to be a little screen play on the outside to get some extra yards. It's going to be Roki Bakunu, their leading receiver. Nice gain of 4 yards there for Akunu. Nice job to wrap him up there. Caleb Powell, sophomore defensive back for Shadow Creek. Still Jamarian Jones in the backfield. Jameer Young going to hand it off to Jones. Jones has nowhere to go, and all that yardage that they just gained just lost it right there. So that's number 0, Langston Taylor. Right there, getting in that gap. Really nice job by Langston Taylor. Now he's been reading those gaps perfectly, and sets up a 3rd and long for George Bush. 3rd and 9 coming up for Jameer Young and the Broncos. It's going to be Jones to his right, having to escape the pocket. Young fires and finds a receiver. It's going to be Ashton Eakins, the sophomore wide receiver. And they're going to... Looks like he picked up the first down, but there was a flag on the play. Let's see what the call is.
Holding. Offense. The result of the play ended in the end zone. The result is the safety.
Oh, wow. Wow, so holding on the offense, and it was in the end zone. So because of that, it's going to be a safety for the Sharks. And wow, what a massive switch there that we just saw. Bush just had the first down, but unfortunately, a blunder on the offensive line led to a safety for Shadow Creek. They now lead 16-6 over Fort Bend George Bush Broncos. Wow, what a change of events that was. Could have been a first down for Bush. Instead, you lose possession of the ball and give Shadow Creek 2 points to work with. 2 seconds left to go in this first quarter. It's been all Shadow Creek early on. Broncos able to get into the end zone off Anthony Poe. Little slant play, found Poe in the middle of the field, bounce off a tackle, and was able to get outside the numbers and take it all the way to the house for 6. But other than that, it's been tough for the Broncos to find yards against this tough Shadow Creek defense. Broncos back on the field to kick. It's going to be number 86, Anthony Garcia, on for the kickoff. Jalen Adai sitting at about the 35-yard line for Shadow Creek. Guess they're expecting a soft kick here from Garcia. And the kick is off. Almost gets past Adai. Adai able to track it at about the 20-yard line. He's going up the field. He's got some space, running room. He goes through some tackles. One man to beat is the kicker. It's Garcia, and he's G-O-E gone. What a take back all the way to the end zone for Jalen Adai. The leading receiver for Shadow Creek, and the Sharks now up 22-6 at the end of the first quarter. Probably not a smart move by Anthony Garcia to kick the ball to Jalen Adai. Adai had to go back 10 yards to the actually 15 yards back to the 20-yard line to go get that kick. Was able to work his way up the left side of the field, had a couple of blockers ahead of him, and just like that, Shadow Creek gets on the board again. Kick is up by Signs, and it is good. Shadow Creek 23, Broncos 6. Here's the replay of that kickoff. Garcia, let's see who the blockers were in front of him. What great blocking there by Jalen Adai. Gets by one. All he needed to beat was the kicker, and he got there. I saw Cameron Frank, the junior wide receiver, number 19, with a big block to allow Adai to get that space. But Jalen Adai, that's one you don't want to test him on returns, because he will take it back to the end zone just like that. And Shadow Creek now leading George Bush 23-6 as we start the second quarter here at Freedom Field. Samuel Delgado on for the kick for Shadow Creek as they lead 23-6. And the kick is off. This time it's going to be caught. It's going to be breaking one tackle and going all the way to the 27-yard line. It's number 12, Josiah McNeely. A couple of scores around the area. Ridgepoint, Pearland, Dawson, 21-16. Looks like that was the final. Tascasita and Dickinson, I know that's live right now, 14-14, sitting in the first quarter. Belton and Iowa Colony. Iowa Colony 14. Belton has 7. C.E. King leading Clear Falls 14-0. Cinco Ranch leading Fulsher 7-0. Cy Falls leading Bel Air 7-0. And Hightower leading Manville 21-14. Back on for the Broncos, number 3, Jameer Young. To his right, Jamarian Jones. 2 receivers under. He's going to hand it off to Jones. And Jones breaking some tackles, moving the pile. Getting all the way about to the 32-yard line. Nice gain of 4 yards there by Jamarian Jones. Sophomore running back, 6 foot, even 205 pounds for Jones, as you see him just moving the pile there. So we have Young letting his players know the play call. 3 receivers up. Jones to his right. This time Young's going to try and take it to the right. Has nowhere to go. Breaks a tackle and is working his way to the left of the field. Looks like he got maybe even gained a yard on that one. Wow, he was dead to rights in the backfield. But Jameer Young making something out of nothing. His Langston Galloway was right there. Or excuse me, Langston Taylor was right there to bring him down, but just couldn't get his hands on Jameer Young. Sophomore quarterback. It's looked really impressive so far tonight. Jamarian Jones coming back to the huddle, letting guys know the play call. Young drops back, lets it go, and just a drop pass there. Would have had the first down. It was number 16, Torion Elam. We've seen Elam make those catches in this game so far, but unfortunately for Bush, it's going to be 4 and out, and the punting unit comes on. Good play call. Nice throw, just unable to haul it in there for the sophomore wide receiver, Torian Elam. And just like that, Shadow Creek is about to receive the ball back. It's LaFell and Dadai back to receive. On the kick, it's going to be number 9, De'Aaron Davis. He's going to try and get it close to the outside, but it looks like LaFell is able to pick it up right at about the 42-yard line. LaFell has room to work, breaks up a couple tackles, stiff arm, and all the way down to the 40-yard line goes Brandon LaFell. Yeah, nice job by the punter. De'Aaron Davis was the guy who ended up bringing him down at the 35-yard line, excuse me. But really nice job by Brandon LaFell. The freshman has come in just this last week and made a significant impact here on the special teams, and he even ran in for a touchdown last week as well for Shadow Creek. It's going to be Tavis Coleman and Tristan Willis back on the field for Shadow Creek. See if they hand it off. LaFell in motion. They are going to hand it off to Willis. Willis finds a gap, able to break it, and gets a nice gain of 10 yards there on the run. Nice job by Willis. Great blocking up front there by the Shadow Creek offensive linemen. They've done a great job all game. They've been able to run any way they want. LaFell coming back. It looks like it's going to be the same play call. No, it's not. It's going to be a fake to Willis. This time they go to LaFell. LaFell breaks a tackle. He's going up all the way inside the 5-yard line, sitting at about the 5. I think they might give it to him at the, you have to give him exactly the 5. It's going to be the freshman, Brandon LaFell Jr. And just like that, the freshman off the JV squad makes another big impact here off a great little screen pass behind Coleman. And just like that, Shadow Creek is back into the red zone, knocking on the door, 1st and goal. It's going to be a handoff to Willis. Willis has nowhere to go. Great tackle. That was number 11, Toby Oladunde, the senior defensive lineman. Did a great job of getting into the backfield. One of the 3 big senior defensive linemen for Bush. He's done a great job this year leading one of the leaders of the team in tackles. So now back at their almost 10-yard, looks like their 9-yard line. It's going to be a little screen pass to Willis, and Willis is into the end zone for a touchdown. Didn't take him very long as he does his little dance, and just like that, Shadow Creek is up now 29-6 over Bush. Signs on for the extra point. And that is the 4th touchdown of the day for Shadow Creek. The hold, and it's up and good. Nick Signs with another extra point. And just like that, Willis able to break a tackle, go all the way to the end zone. Shadow Creek leading the Broncos 30-6. 8 minutes and 56 seconds to go in this second quarter here at Freedom Field. C.E. King leading Clear Falls 28-7 over in the second quarter. Manville and Hightower now tied at 21. Still in the fourth quarter. Dickinson leading Atascocita currently 17-14. And it's going to be Samuel Delgado on the kick for Shadow Creek, giving you a couple area scores from last night's game. Katy able to take down George Ranch 42-7. Hitchcock and Little River Academy, Hitchcock leading 20-7. Not exactly sure what happened on that play. Is it going to be Shadow Creek ball? Looks like Shadow Creek might have the ball. I was going over scores and looked down. I missed the whole play. No, it's still. It's still Fort Bend Bush's ball. Okay. They're just at the 50-yard line. I think there might have been a potential onside. I'm not exactly sure, but Fort Bend Bush is going to take the ball. It's going to be Jameer Young with actually Anthony Poe in the backfield. This time Poe's going to set up as a tight end. Young's going to drop back, looks for Poe, fakes it, throws it right in the middle of the field. Looked like he was intending it for Quincy McCall, the senior wide receiver. McCall not able to get on the same page, and it falls incomplete for Fort Bend. Bush, second down and 10 coming up for the Broncos. It's been a heavy dose of run game for the Shadow Creek Sharks. 3 touchdowns have come from the run. The 4th touchdown came on a return kickoff from Jalen Adai. Looks like Bush trying to get on the same page. It's going to be Young handed off and met immediately in the backfield. Wow, Jacoby Thomas right there to stuff Jamarian Jones in the backfield. Big tackle for loss for Shadow Creek, and what a job by Jacoby Thomas to get away from the blocker and get right into the face of Jamarian Jones. It's been really tough for the Broncos to run the ball so far tonight. And Jones actually coming off the field. It's going to be an empty backfield for Jameer Young. 3 receivers up, 2 receivers down. See what Young and the Broncos have right here. He's looking for somebody. Drops back, has nowhere to go. Immediately starts to scramble, loses the ball, picks it back up, goes back a little bit more, and is brought down right at about the 30, about the 25-yard line. It was big number 42, Tommy Baker, in there to bring him down. Who was it that almost stripped him right there? Yeah, that's number 42, Tommy Baker. Just knocks the ball out of his hands and then able to bring him down. It's number 43, Sidney Willis. And just like that, Fort Bend Bush is back on to punt. It's going to be De'Aaron Davis, this time not wanting to test a die. Kicks it out of bounds. Really great kick. Sits right at the 43-yard line of Shadow Creek. And that's where they're going to take over. Some scores in the area last night. Port Arthur Memorial 42, Galena Park nothing. Wharton losing to West Orange Starling 51-21. Tidehaven beating Comfort 62-7. Randall able to take care of business 54-20 against Colleen Ellison. And Silsby beats Sweeney 48-27. We'll be updating you with more scores around the area as the game continues. This time it's going to be Coleman. Kicks it out, finds his receiver going down the field over the numbers. That's going to be number 6, Aiden Sterling. Sterling able to get a huge gain. And just like that, Shadow Creek is now into Fort Bend Bush territory. Shadow Creek taking some time down as they try and get the play call in. Willis and Coleman there, reading it on their devices. Looks like they got it. 8 seconds on the shot on the game clock. And there goes Willis. Just a little handoff, and Willis gets hit really hard there. That was number 11, Toby Aladonde. Called his name a couple of times today as he gave Willis a big hit. I'm sure he'll remember, but Willis able to pick up a good 9 yards there for Shadow Creek. Just a little handoff from Coleman, and that's been working so well for the Sharks tonight. Really great job there by Adonde to get his shoulder in there and not go helmet to helmet. And this time a little screen pass over to Adai. Adai breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, and he is gone into the end zone for another Shadow Creek Shark touchdown. That's going to be Jalen Zadai's second touchdown. And has a little celebration, non-celebration there. And Shadow Creek now leading the Broncos 36-6 as Nick Sines comes on for his 5th extra point attempt. Great job by Jalen Adai on the screen pass from Tavis Coleman. Kick by Sines is up, and it's good. Shadow Creek now leading the Fort Bend Bush Broncos 37-6. 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Aldine Nimitz and Grand Oaks going up against each other tonight. 14-7. Grand Oaks leads that one. C.E. King still leading Clear Falls 28-7. Yeah, Manville and Hightower still a stalemate, 21-21. Tascasita now down 10 to Dickinson, 14-24. Dickinson leads that one. C.E. King leading Clear Falls 28-7. It's going to be Samuel Delgado on for the kick for Shadow Creek. It's been Shadow Creek getting it done on the ground, and now a little passing touchdown from Coleman on a little screen pass from Adai, and they lead the Broncos 37-6. This one's going to be taken at about the 5-yard line and gets up and sacked. Gets brought down at about the 13. It's going to be number 12, Josiah McNeely, taking it out. And I'm kind of surprised that Bush has elected to try and return some of these kickoffs. I thought they would just kind of elect for a touchback, but trying to get yards any way they can. But it's going to be tough field position for them as they're backed up on their own 14-yard line. As Jameer Young and the Broncos come out, I'll tell you a little bit about how the game's been going so far. J.C. Pace got the game started with 2 touchdowns early. First touchdown coming in at about 3 yards. All he had to do for that one. Second touchdown was a 33-yard return on the second drive. One play was all it took for them. Tristan Willis also has a touchdown, and Jalen Adai with 2 touchdowns, one for a return for a kickoff and another that you just saw on the screen pass. As that time, not sure if it was a fumble or if they're Shadow Creek thinks it's a fumble. Broncos are trying to find out if he was down or not. That was Roki Bakunu on the take. See if Bakunu lost the ball, and they're going to keep it Fort Bend Bush ball. Yeah, I thought his knee came down, so I think that was the right call. I believe the ball came out after the receiver was down, and that's what the officials agreed upon. So it's going to be a 2nd and 4 coming up for Bush. Nice job on that first down. They've had trouble on the first downs of drives, losing yardage that time, getting it into their lead receiver and able to work up the field for a good chunk of yards. Jamarian Jones in behind Jameer Young. This time they're going to hand it off to Jones. Jones bouncing off a tackle and gets a gain of about 2 yards. It's Langston Galloway on the tackle. And it's going to be another big 3rd down here for Bush. The Broncos just have to try and get some momentum on this drive and keep the ball moving forward. 3rd and short coming up for Bush. They haven't had a lot of them, so they need to try and take advantage here against this stingy Shadow Creek defense. As you hear the Shadow Creek band trying to get their players motivated. The pass, and this time it's hauled in. It's going to be Alma. Breaks a tackle, able to work his way up the field all the way to the 32-yard line. Great job by Torian Alam. He's been heavily sought after, heavily targeted so far this game. And he picks up a big 1st down for the Broncos. We just saw him on the last drive. Ended up dropping a big 3rd down pass that would have converted into a 1st down. This time able to haul it in and get a couple extra yards after a few shimmy moves. And Bush now moving the ball at their own 37-yard line. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the 2nd quarter. Clock is ticking. Young handing it off to Jones. Jones tries to get low and work his way up the field. Maybe gets a gain of 1 as he's brought down number 95, Aaron Warner. Able to make the tackle. Now 2nd and long coming up for the Broncos as the clock ticks down. I'm wondering when they're going to take a shot here. They still have plenty of time to move the ball down the field, but they don't want too much time to come off the clock if they do have to end up punting it back to Shadow Creek because of how fast their offense has been, how quickly they've scored. This time Young throws it, almost a pick. Wow, what a read there. That was number 42, Tommy Baker. Had his hands on the ball And, man, that would have been a pick six. Tommy Baker had nobody in front of him to stop him. And a huge, huge break for the Broncos as Jameer Young tried to let the ball down the field but had nobody open. And reading it perfectly there was Tommy Baker. Unfortunately, just hit right off his hands. And it's going to be an incomplete pass. Third and 9 coming up for Bush. Nobody in the backfield now with Young. 3 receivers up, 2 receivers down. The pressure's there. Fires and tries to find Elam again, Torian Elam, and this time just a little bit too low of a pass there for Elam to haul in. And after picking up a nice first down on this drive, Bush having their punt unit come out. It's going to be De'Aaron Davis with another punt. Be surprised if he punts this anywhere close to where LaFell or Adai can get the ball. As it looks like the officials are trying to get together and fix the
set the clock
game
to
clock.
2:31.
Yeah, right now it's at 2:21. So Shadow Creek wanting their time back as they are going to try and move the ball down the field to score some more points here before the first half. Davis for the punt. And this time kicks it right out of bounds, right about the 50-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 48 of Bush. So 2 minutes and 25 seconds, plenty of time for Shadow Creek to get more points on the board here at Freedom Field. Over in Dickinson, Atascocita still trailing, but only by 6 now, 20-26. Dickinson leads that one. C.E. King leading Clear Falls 35-7. Iowa Colony over Belton 20-7. And Hightower has taken the lead over Manville 28-21. As we're back here, it's going to be handoff to Pace. Pace already has 2 touchdowns on the day as he breaks tackles, keeps spinning, and moving the ball. It's going to be bringing them down is number 52. It's going to be Tyler Sims, the junior defensive back. Really nice job by Jasier Pace. Thought he was going to go down there, but just kept moving his legs and spinning.
2-minute timeout.
And just like that, we have the 2-minute warning here. Shadow Creek leading George Bush Broncos 37-6 here at Freedom Field. As I try and update you on more scores here, Cinco Ranch still leading Fulshire 14-0. Grand Oaks leading Aldine Nimitz 17-7. And nothing else has changed so far. So it's been all Shadow Creek today. It started with Tristan Willis and Tavis Coleman moving the ball down the field in the run game. Ended up being Jasier Pace getting the first touchdown of the game as Willis had to come out for an injury. No matter, though, he came back to the game pretty quickly and got things going again. Jasier Pace was able to get the second touchdown, though. Big 33 yards into the end zone for them. Then the third touchdown was a return touchdown. It was a punt. It was a punt by De'Aaron Davis trying to get it over the head of Jalen Adai. Adai taking it 80 yards all the way back to the house for 6. Got another touchdown later, as well as Tristan Willis. This time Tavis Coleman, he's going to drop back. Actually, that's Brandon LaFell. LaFell taking it all the way into the end zone for a touchdown on a great QB read by Shadow Creek. It didn't take long, and there it was for Brandon LaFell. Just assumed Tavis Coleman was in there, but the freshman doing it all here. Had a nice play early on to get a big gain of yards, taking the ball all the way to the 3-yard line for Tristan Willis to come in and finish the job off. And just like that, Brandon LaFell tacks another 6 points on for the Sharks. And here comes Nick Sines trying to make it 44-6. Kick is up, and it's good. 6th touchdown of the game goes to Brandon LaFell on the great Reed handoff. And just like that, Shadow Creek leading the Broncos 43-6. It's been all touchdowns for the Sharks. Actually, it should be 44-6. They just haven't fixed on the scoreboard, but 44-6. It's been 6 touchdowns for Shadow Creek, but the reason why they have an extra 2 points is because there was a holding call by Bush in their own end zone. They were backed up on the 3-yard line. Ended up being a slip by, I believe it was Rakib Okunu, who ended up receiving the ball in the end zone and taking it out and ended up slipping on the 3-yard line. The Broncos had to start on their own 3, and unfortunately, they ended up getting a hold call on a 3rd down where they did convert the 1st down, but the holding penalty was in the end zone, which in turn allowed Shadow Creek to get the safety on that play, gave them 2 points as they now lead Fort Bend Bush 44-6. Less than 2 minutes to go. We'll see how the Broncos elect to play this drive, but I would assume they're going to try and take this time all the way down. Don't want to give Shadow Creek another opportunity as that one is kicked. They are going to fair catch it this time, which I thought they should have the entire game, but this time they elect to, and they're going to get the ball taken all the way to the 25-yard line. Is where they'll start. The Shadow Creek defense has been all over the field. They've been very, very good. Been led by senior linebacker Langston Taylor right there, number 0 in the middle of your screen. As he's positioning the defense, he's been doing a great job tonight for Shadow Creek, getting back into the backfield and getting a bunch of tackles for losses. You see him already starting to move. This time he's going to drop back. He's going to get the in lane. And just like that, hands on his head. Langston Taylor knew he had a pick right there, and just like that, he is beating himself up. Man, he read that perfectly. That time did not elect to go in for pressure, but ended up dropping back into a zone. And really nice job by Shadow Creek as hits his buddy Tommy Baker, as both Baker and Langston Taylor both had dropped interceptions for Shadow Creek. Interesting. I'm kind of surprised the Broncos came out and just elected to pass. I thought they would try and take some time off this clock. We'll see what they do here, as it's going to be Jamarian Jones in the backfield behind him. 1 second to go. Are they going to get it off? They do. Young throwing it and dropping it is Rakib Okunu, their leading receiver. A little bit low of a pass. As Okunu won the ball up just a little bit more. He's a tall, not the tallest of guys, but 5'10". I mean, that ball was thrown around his ankles by sophomore quarterback Jameer Young. As now the Broncos have taken no time off the clock. Now they come into another 3rd and long situation. See if they try and get the first down here, if they just elect to run and try and run more time off the clock. Again, the clock is all the way down to 3 seconds on the play clock. And moving and trying to find room is Young. Young throwing it down the field. Just a little bit too high there for Rakib Okunu. And it's going to be another 4 and out for the Broncos as their punt unit's going to have to come on. It's going to be De'Aaron Davis with another punt for the Broncos. Minute 31 left. They took about 15 seconds off the clock. About 15 seconds came off the clock, and just like that, they're having to kick it again, and there's no punter. And they're going to have to call a timeout.
Timeout. Bush.
Bush is wondering where their punter is.
First time out of the half.
Because right now it was Robert Bankhead and Jamarian Jones back there. Neither one of them is their senior punter. Number 9, De'Aaron Davis, who's punted the ball every time for George Bush and having to call a timeout due to the miscommunication. Shadow Creek getting the ball back. They just had the ball. If you remember, the coach was getting upset because 10 seconds ran off. It was Coach Green getting upset about the game clock. It was at 2:21. He wanted his 10 seconds back. The Shadow Creek received the ball with 2 minutes and 31 seconds on that last drive. They were able to take it into the end zone in about 30 seconds, and only a minute has come off the game clock since that time after 3 straight incomplete passes for Bush. And it is going to be Bankhead on for the punt. It's not going to be De'Aaron Davis. It's going to be Robert Bankhead, one of the junior defensive backs. And he's just going to punt it straight out of bounds. It's going to sit right at about the 47-yard line of Shadow Creek, as they have 6 seconds came off the game clock, a minute 25 to go, and 47 yards to work with to try and get in the end zone here. And here comes Shadow Creek. Tavis Coleman. Tristan Willis right next to him. Brandon LaFell Jr., who ended up getting that touchdown their last drive. He's set up on the outside as a wide receiver. He kind of does it all for the Sharks. He's looking for him. He actually goes the other way. Now he's trying to find LaFell. No, he's trying to find a die. Breaks one tackle. That's all it took. 3 guys around him, no problem for Jalen Adai as he takes it in for his 3rd touchdown of the game. Jalen Adai, man, he's just been so great for Shadow Creek all year as he gets his 3rd touchdown of the game. 53 yards, and it was in there, and a great job by Tavis Coleman, able to look off the defensive ends and the defensive backs, looking over the way of Brandon LaFell, and then coming back over the right side to find his lead receiver, Jalen Adai. Caught it, broke one tackle, did a little spin move, went around the outside, and he got around into the end zone for another 6 points. And there it is. Nick Sines on for the extra point. His 7th extra point of the day, and it's up and good. The Sharks lead 51-6. Still a minute 13 left to go in the first half, as it's been all Shadow Creek all night. See if we got any updated scores here. Looks like we do. Cy Falls leading Bel Air 23-3. Manville and Hightower are sitting tied at 28 currently right now. Iowa Colony over Belton is still 26-7. Atascocita and Dickinson. Atascocita is still 7 points down. Dickinson 34, Atascocita 27. Grand Oaks leading Aldine Nimitz 17-7. Samuel Delgado on for another kickoff. Looks like there's 2 kickers out here. Maybe a fake. Nope. Just a little kick over to the 30-yard line. They're about the 20. They can't touch it back, and sitting at about the 22-yard line. Able to bring it in was number 12, Josiah McNeely, as that one was pretty close to being Shadow Creek ball if nobody from Bush got on it. Luckily, McNeely was able to. Minute 10 seconds to go in the half, as Shadow Creek leading Bush 51-6. Jalen Adai with 3 touchdowns, 2 early touchdowns by running back JCR Pace. Tristan Willis also has a touchdown the day, and Brandon LaFell also has a rushing touchdown as he ran it in from the quarterback position. This time just handing it off to the running back and getting some room to run, and really nice job. Still working his way all the way to the 40-yard line was number 6, Brandon Smith. It's mostly been Jamarian Jones in the backfield. That was Brandon Smith's best run of the night, and a big first down for the Broncos. Now Smith coming off Jamarian Jones, stepping back in. Jameer Young letting time come off the clock. Almost at 10 seconds on the play clock now. He is going to hand it off to Jones. Jones going to get stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe lost 1 yard. And Tommy Baker is in the backfield for another tackle for loss. And 15 seconds on the game clock as it continues to tick down. I think that's going to take us to the end of the half. Bush not electing to get another play off. And just like that, Shadow Creek leading George Bush Broncos going into the half 51-6. It's been all Shadow Creek in the Sharks tonight as Jalen Adai leads the team with 3 touchdowns. LaFell has a touchdown, Willis has a touchdown, and JCR Pace has 2 touchdowns as Shadow Creek goes into the half with a 45-point lead here at Freedom Field over at Alvin ISD. We'll have some halftime festivities here for you, and we'll be right back before the second half starts to tell you how the first half went. But so far, it's been all Shadow Creek here at Freedom Field as they lead 51-6. Enjoy the halftime festivities.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Fort Bend Independent School District is proud to present the George Bush High School Halftime Show. Taking the field now are the Illusions Dance Team. The Illusions Dance Team are led on the field by Social Officers Eileen Chavez, Angel Okafor, Vice President Eliana Mancia, and President Alicia Kitutu. Dance officers are Senior Lieutenant Alexa Gamboa, Senior Lieutenant Zamira Thomas, and Captain Morgan Moore. Tonight, the Illusions will be performing a streamer jazz routine to the disco classic, Let's Groove. The Illusions competed this routine at the Texas Dance Education Association's state competition. They received a Division I for the second year in a row. Let's give them a big round of applause for their hard work and talent. The Illusions are under the direction of Jose Bonilla and Haley Ferguson.
And now, Shark Nation, get on your feet and make some noise for your Shadow Creek Band, Cheer, and Sapphires dance team. Tonight, we need you to help us as we cheer on the Sharks to another victory. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your Shadow Creek Band Cheer and Sapphires dance team. Tonight, we'd like to thank our amazing community of students, parents, teachers, and administrators for all of their support throughout the season. Thank you, Shadow Creek community, for your support of these incredible students and programs. Go Sharks!
All right, welcome back here to Freedom Field, where currently the Shadow Creek Sharks lead the Fort Bend Bush Broncos 51-6 at the half. My name is Kyle Harris. I'll be here broadcasting the second half of the game for you, as well as telling you about some other scores around the area. So we have our big North Shore versus Deer Park. At the half, North Shore leading Deer Park 35-0. Should take care of business there. No problem. Grand Oaks leading Aldine Nimitz 17-7. Cy Ranch over Klein 13-8 at the half. As you hear the Shadow Creek Sharks and the Fort Bend Bush Broncos taking the field. C.E. King leading Clear Falls 42-7 at the half. Pearland over Fort Bend Travis 35-14. Atascocita and Dickinson are tied 37-37 at the half. That is a great game over there. C.E. King leading Clear Falls 42-7. Iowa Colony over Belton 26-7. San Antonio Sam Houston over in Pflugerville, tied at 21. Cinco Ranch over Fulsher 16-0 as the start of the third quarter. Cy Falls over Bel Air 26-3 at the half. Manville and Hightower are tied up at 35, and Summer Creek is leading Clear Springs 31-7 at the half. Some scores that happened yesterday. Big 5A District 2 Randall with the win over Kaline Ellison 54-20. Had Port Arthur Memorial beating Galena Park 42-0. And Katy beating George Ranch 42-7 out at 6A District 2. As we're ramping up to start the third quarter here, Shadow Creek has led the game the entire way. The only score for the Broncos came back from their very first drive. They found number 80, Anthony Poe, the senior wide receiver, on a slant route. Poe had a lot of coverage on him, but luckily was able to haul the ball in and escape the tackler and was able to take it all the way in the end zone for 6 points. Fort Bend Bush elected to go for 2 on a fake field goal attempt, which is why they only have 6 points for Shadow Creek. It's been a bevy of names. One name that's led the way has been Jalen Adai. 3 touchdowns on the day, one of them being a punt return all the way for a touchdown, as well as JCR Pace has 2 touchdowns, Tristan Willis has a touchdown, and Brandon LaFell Jr. has a touchdown. As the kick is off for Shadow Creek, Fort Bend Bush receives it as they elected at the beginning of the game, and getting a little space and running room is going to be their leading back, number 2, Rokib Akunu. Their leading wide receiver gets it all the way up to the 34-yard line. Great field position for the Broncos as they start out this second half. But, man, that Shadow Creek defense has been smothering. 2 guys that I've constantly called has been number 0, as you see him right there on your screen, Langston Taylor, their senior linebacker, who mans pretty much as the captain behind that defense. Almost had a interception earlier in the game, along with number 42, Tommy Baker. Their senior linebacker also almost had a pick 6 earlier in the game, but ended up dropping it. And it's going to be Jameer Young handing it off. That's going to be Brandon Smith working his way around very close to the pylon. Looks like they're going to give it to him at the 40. And it's going to be big 6-yard gain there for the Broncos as they get a really nice first down there for Jameer Young and the Broncos. For Fort Bend Bush, it's been really tough for them to get offense going. There was a couple of there was a drop pass by Torian Elam earlier on in the second quarter, and some ill-advised throws from Jameer Young. This time keeps it. Langston Taylor picks him up and puts him on the floor for a big sack. Langston Taylor has had himself a game. He's been able to read the quarterback perfectly, as he wasn't fooled at all by that handoff. Went immediately after Young and almost picked him up and put him down. Luckily, he didn't get him all the way up, or it would have been a penalty. But what a sack and what a tackle for Langston Galloway and the Shadow Creek Sharks. They've been phenomenal tonight. As Jameer Young with Brandon Smith in the backfield to his right. He's going to drop back, look for a pass. Lets it loose, going deep. And off the mark, tries to find one of their leading receivers, number 12, Josiah McNeely, near the sideline. Unfortunately, though, McNeely not able to get a hand on it. Maybe thrown a little bit out of bounds there from Jameer Young. And the punting unit is on. They're going to go with Robert Bankhead. And it's going to be LaFell Jr. and Jalen Adai in the backfield. I'm sure they won't want to kick it to him, as Bankhead, he does kick it to him. It's going to be LaFell. LaFell gets wrapped up right at the 45-yard line. Nice job by the Broncos not letting LaFell get into open space. And it's going to be the Sharks taking over at their own 44-yard line. It's going to be Tavis Coleman and company. There goes Tristan Willis right next to him. I'd expect a handoff here and try and run the ball a little bit with Willis. And it is. Willis cutting back to the left, breaks a tackle, breaks another one, spin move, almost wrapped up around his legs, but keeps churning and gets it all the way into Fort Bend Bush territory. Now at around the 36-yard line of Fort Bend Bush goes Tristan Willis. And right there, he should have been brought down. Breaks another tackle, tries to get him again with his legs, but unfortunately just not able to bring him down. That was number 36, Mark Yunga. Mark Yunga, the senior defensive back, not able to bring Willis down. And it's going to go right back to him. Willis right up the middle of the field, breaks a tackle, and just keeps his legs churning for another Shark first down. So he moves it all the way to the 29-yard line. Tristan Willis, or excuse me, 24-yard line. Tristan Willis can just move the ball with his legs, able to get around the tackle there. Trying to bring him down was number 10, McBride Dukeway. Dukeway, one of their leading tacklers on the team, not able to bring down Tristan Willis. As a junior running back just keeps it moving. Coleman this time not going to hand it off. He's going to find a passer. He's going to get it all the way to the 3-yard line. Goes Eno Beauchamp. Eno Beauchamp, one of the senior wide receivers, one of the captains of this team, wanting to get involved here, as he just stepped out at about the, they're going to set him at the 4-yard line, is where they're going to say he stepped out. You know, Beauchamp and the Sharks moving the ball down the field. It's Coleman with Willis to his left. They're just going to hand it off to Willis, and he gets met immediately, and he's going to get brought down. What a jump there. That was number 7, David Nwanadu. David Nwanadu, one of the senior defensive backs. He's been great for Fort Bend Bush this season. And it's going to be an injury timeout We have an offensive lineman for Shadow Creek down. Hopefully they'll be able to get that young man up and moving. As we go look at some scores around the area. While Aldine Nimitz fighting against Grand Oaks. They only now trail 3. It's 17-4. Grand Oaks still leads, but they're fighting. Cy Ranch leading Klein 13-8. CE King over Clear Falls 42-7. Pearland leading Fort Bend Travis 35-14. Iowa Colony now leading Belton 40-7. Manville and Hightower still tied at 35. Cinco Ranch now leading Fulshear 23-0. Cy Falls over Bel Air 26-3 at half. As they just pulled up the young man. Trying to get that number. He's coming across your screen right here. That's number 75 for Shadow Creek. Chaz Oliver, one of their senior offensive linemen, 6'4", 295 pounds. As Chaz Oliver walks with his own power off to the sideline, that's a great sign for Shadow Creek. But a 2nd and goal coming up for the Sharks after a big stop there by David Nwanadu of Fort Bend Bush, able to break through the offensive line and get to the backfield and get to Willis. We'll see what Shadow Creek elects to do now. I've seen him so many times fake the handoff to Willis and go to a die on the outside. Looks like they're going to fake the handoff to Willis, but Coleman's just going to take off. He has room to run on the right. Not able to get all the way in the end zone, but does get a chunk of those yards back now at the 7-yard line for the Sharks. Nice job by Bush getting to the outside, not letting Coleman get outside the numbers, able to bring him down with a minimal gain. Now 3rd and 8 coming up for Shadow Creek. It is 3rd and goal. I don't see a die out here on the field. No Jalen Adai. So they're not going to go to him. Let's see what they elect to do. Fort Bend Bush showing pressure. They do. Blitzer and just dropping the ball there was Tristan Willis, not able to hang on to it as Tavis Coleman had pressure coming up on his side by number 7, David Nwanadu. And they're going to bring out Nick Sines for the field goal. Sines getting set on a 4th and goal. The ball is at the 8-yard line. Looks like it's going to be about a 25-yard field goal. Seven seconds on the play clock. 4, 3, and missed snap. Sign's going to have to just land on it. And not a good snap there. Not a good snap there by Shadow Creek. Luckily, Langston Galloway was able to get on it. Regardless, it's going to be a turnover on downs. And Fort Bend Bush gets the ball back. So for the first time today, Shadow Creek does not come up with points on their first drive of this 3rd quarter. Just a bad snap by the long snapper and not able to receive it cleanly was Langston Taylor. So now here comes the Shadow Creek defense. See what Fort Bend Bush does here as they elect to run at the ball. It's going to be Brandon Smith running up the left side of the field. Maybe got a gain of 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 coming up for the Broncos. 6 minutes remaining in this third quarter as the clock continues to tick. Now both running backs out there. It looks like Jamarian Jones kind of in a fullback tight end type of sweep. They're going to do a couple of sweep passes. It's going to be number 18. He's going to find a wide open wide receiver, and it's going to be Poe. Anthony Poe, one of the few wide receivers that has had success tonight versus Bush, gets the pass from Ashton Eakins. Nice little fake play there. It was handed off to Jamarian Jones right here. Jones hands it off to Eakin, and Eakin's able to find Anthony Poe for a big first down and a huge play for Fort Bend Bush, probably their biggest play since that Anthony Poe touchdown they had early on in the first quarter. Jameer Young with two backs behind him. It's both Jones and Smith. This time they're going to go to Jamarian Jones, but he's going to be wrapped up right at around the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to give him 1 yard on that run play. So it's going to be a 2nd down and 9 coming on for Bush, as they're trying to get the play call as Jamarian Jones comes off the field. Now it's just Brandon Smith to the right of Jameer Young. Young, only a sophomore quarterback, looks very poised to be a sophomore quarterback. Led Fort Bend Bush to a playoff game this year and still trying to make it work as he gets the ball over to his lead receiver, Rokib Akunu. Akunu able to pick up a couple. It's going to be 3rd and 7 coming up for the Broncos on the screen pass, and a great job of breaking that tackle. It's number 25, Dawn Loyally. Or excuse me, Jackson Edwards, the senior outside linebacker, getting to it. Edwards did a great job of breaking off that tackle. Here comes Young. Smith to his left. 3rd and 7. Young dropping back, looking for anybody. Not going to find anybody. He's going to tuck it and run. He's going to get the first down. He's going to get even more as he works his way outside the numbers. Gets all the way to the 25-yard line and gets out of bounds for the Broncos. Really nice job there by Jameer Young, dropping back, not seeing anybody open, and just takes it off and runs it himself, able to pick up the first down and more. So we're now under the 3-minute mark in the third quarter. Brandon Smith coming out next to Jameer Young. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Looks like a man in motion. They are going to hand it off to Smith. Smith nowhere to go, though, and he's going to get wrapped up right around the 30-yard line and taken back another 5 yards. It's going to be Aaron Warner right there. Aaron Warner and Jacoby Thomas right there on the tackle for loss. And just nowhere to go for Smith. As you see him right there, and then he tries to come back around, right there meeting him, number 92, Jacoby Thomas, able to bring him down at the 30-yard line. 5-yard loss for the Broncos. Young dropping back, looking for a pass. He tries to go over the top to a wide receiver. He gets it, and it's going to be number 4, Quincy McCall. Quincy McCall, the senior wide receiver, getting involved today. First time I've called his name, but he's got the height, and he had it right there. Just a little separation from McCall, and he's able to haul it in for the touchdown. 2nd touchdown of the game for the Broncos. Really great throw there by Jameer Young. Put it right on the money for Quincy McCall. See if the Broncos elect to do Another fake, or if they just kick the extra point. Looks like they're just going to go up and kick the extra point by Anthony Garcia is up and good. So just like that, Quincy McCall makes a house call, takes it in for 6, and the Broncos now trailing 51-13. Shadow Creek not putting points up for the first time for the first drive of this third quarter. They've been able to put points on the board every drive except that one. Aldine Nimitz now leading Grand Oaks 21-17. So they really flipped the script after being down 17-3. They are now leading Grand Oaks 21-17. Cy Ranch over Klein 20-8. See if any other is updated. Iowa Colony still leading Belton, now up 47-7. And Atascocita has now taken over the lead 44-37 at Dickinson, as that has been a back and forth game for both of those teams. And the kick is up and it's off. It looks like it's going to be LaFell taking it. He's at the 30, going to take it past the 35, working his way around, juking, continues to juke, and just falls down at the 33-yard line for Shadow Creek. Not a big kickoff return for the Sharks, but not really one needed, as they've been able to move the ball very well tonight. Let's see, Cinco Ranch leading Fulsher 26-8. Cy Falls leading Bel Air 26-3. And Deer Park showing some fight against North Shore. They scored 14. It was 35-0. Now North Shore leads 35-14 over Deer Park. As the Shadow Creek offense comes on, it's going to be Brandon LaFell taking over at quarterback. Josier Pace next to him. He's going to hand the ball off to Pace. Pace going to get met at the line, break off a tackle, spin move, and get a nice gain about 5 yards up to the 37-yard line for Josier Pace, who has 2 touchdowns early in the game. Both came in the first quarter. But he's a running back that they can get going, and he can get moving downfield very quickly, as the Sharks letting some time come off the board. Brandon LaFell Jr. also has a touchdown in the game, rushing touchdown from the quarterback position in that second quarter. This time he's going to fake it to Pace. Now he's going to throw it on the outside to Dion Johnson Jr., but Johnson Jr. just a little bit low for Johnson Jr. to handle. And it's going to be a third down coming up for Shadow Creek and the Sharks. Interesting that they're not coming out with Coleman and Willis, but they've gone to their second in command, Brandon LaFell Jr., and his running mate, Josier Pace. Fell takes it. He's going to hand it off to Pace. Pace is immediately met by 2 Broncos, and they bring him down. Great job by Fort Bend Bush. That was a combined tackle. That was number 45. Excuse me, it was number 42. Amadi Amasarichi on that run, as Shadow Creek is just going to elect to take the ball down all the way to the fourth quarter. Shadow Creek, the Sharks lead the Fort Bend Bush Broncos 51-13 here at Freedom Field. Be right back with fourth quarter action.
The third quarter.
Kyle Harris here back on for the fourth quarter as the Shadow Creek Sharks are leading Fort Bend Bush Broncos 51-13. Another big stop by Bush here. And it's going to be the punting unit on for Shadow Creek. And the punt is off. Sitting at about the 50-yard line. It's going to take a Shadow Creek bounce. Going to go to the 46-yard line of Fort Bend Bush, and that's where Jameer Young and company are going to take over. It's been all Shadow Creek this game. Nothing to show for it in the second half, but a 51-point first half has given the Sharks enough of a comfortable lead to where Tavis Coleman, their starting quarterback, did not come out on that last drive. It was the freshman Brandon LaFell Jr. who took over, as well as I haven't seen Jalen Adai in the second half either, their leading wide receiver. But the Broncos are fighting. It's going to be Jameer Young, Brandon Smith to his left. Young motions a man over. Young looking to his left, throws it deep. He has a man open. Oh, and just overshot him. That was number 12, Josiah McNeely. Had room and had the space. Unfortunately, the throw was just a little bit past him. But what a great look from the Fort Bend Bush Broncos on that play. That would have been a huge touchdown and really shifted the momentum of this game if McNeely was able to come up with that one. But now they're going to reset. It's going to be Jamarian Jones on the outside now as a wide receiver. A little bit of miscommunication on the handoff. Tries to stiff arm, but taking him all the way back. Wow, what a play. And he takes his helmet off. Wow. What a tackle there by number 33, Nicholas Duff. Wow. Senior defensive lineman has to come off because his helmet got ripped off, but you couldn't have a better tackle than that. Push Smith all the way back. 8 yards on that tackle for loss. A little bit of miscommunication there by Jameer Young and Brandon Smith on the handoff. Young taking a lot of time and not enough time for Smith to get it. 3rd and long coming up. That pass was deflected at the line. And Shadow Creek is going to come out with the ball after this punt. 4th and 18 coming up for Bush as the punting unit comes out. Wow, what a tackle there by number 33, Nicholas Duff, making his presence known as Robert Bankhead coming on to kick for the Broncos. Bankhead kicking it to the 30. It's going to be received and brought down right around where he caught it. It's number 84, Kingston Ragland. Another freshman wide receiver I have not called on until now. So it looks like Shadow Creek electing to go to their second unit on a lot of these plays. I'm assuming it's going to be Brandon LaFell coming out. Yep. As I just saw, number 4, Tavis Coleman, doesn't even have his helmet on the sideline. So he's presumably done for the night. Wanting to rest him and make sure he doesn't get injured or anything. So Coleman's done. It's going to be Brandon LaFell Jr. taking over for the Sharks JCR pace to his left, and LaFell taking it all the way to the 35. Little QB design run there by LaFell Jr., and he has the legs to do it. I've seen him take a couple of return kickoffs all the way back to the house for touchdowns. Excuse me, that wasn't Pace, that's Javion Bryant. Another running back they have here, part of the Sharks, as LaFell just pushing the pocket, and he can really run. It's going to be interesting to see his improvement as a passer, but when it comes to agility and speed, he's going to be a great option for these Shadow Creek Sharks as the years go on. As he's getting the play call, 3 seconds. He's going to fake the handoff. Now he goes to the left, gets around a couple of defensive ends, and able to take it close to the 50-yard line. They're going to stop him at the 48-yard line of Shadow Creek. But a big first down for the Sharks as the clock continues to tick, as they lead 51-13 over the Broncos here at Freedom Field out in Alvin ISD. As you hear the band for Shadow Creek enjoying their time with their team in the lead. This time he is going to hand it off and trying to get around a broken tackle. It's number 20, Javion Bryant. Bryant taken down by number 52, Tyler Sims. Sims, a junior defensive back, getting involved here. Great job bringing him down. He had a lot more room to run if he didn't bring him down on that tackle. As the clock continues to move. 2nd and 4 coming up for the Sharks. I'd be surprised if they elect to throw the ball deep down the field. I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of runs, maybe some screen passes, and got about 5 seconds on the clock, though. They're going to have to snap it. 3, 2, 1. They do get the ball off. Wow. Immediately hands it off to Javion Bryant. Bryant, not a lot of room to go there on that one, though. Right at where they started that down. So it's going to be 3rd and 4 coming back up for Shadow Creek, as at this point they're just trying to milk as much clock off as they can. Trying to get this first down to continue to move the clock. Let's see if they end up throwing it. It is just going to be a designed run by LaFell Jr. He's trying to get outside the numbers. He does. He gets past the 50, tries to hurdle him, and gets to about the 42-yard line. He's going to be 1 yard short of that first down marker. Wow, what a great job. I thought he was going to be sacked right there and able to get around him with that speed and almost hurdled the defensive end. Luckily, he came back okay, and he's up and moving. But wow, what a designed run for Brandon LaFell Jr. as the clock continues to move. 4th and 1, the offense stays out there. They're going to try and get this first down as the play clock ticks closer to 5. They're going to hand it off. And just enough, getting 2 yards on that, was Javion Bryant. Able to pick up the first down. And going to be 1st and 10 for the Sharks as the clock continues to tick down. Javion Bryant and Brandon LaFell Jr. trying to get the Shadow Creek Sharks their first playoff win of 2025. This time hands it off. Great job by Bryant, able to miss a couple of tackles. Gets a nice gain of 3 yards, was very close to being a tackle for loss. But a really nice job by Bryant, able to escape those tackles, get the few yards they needed. 2nd and 6, 4 yards on that run. Really great job by Bryant. Getting around the outside. Play clock closing in on 5 seconds. LaFell receives it, hands it off to Bryant. Bryant with another couple of yards until the pile starts moving backwards, but forward progress is going to push him. Maybe get a 2-yard gain there. 3rd and 4 coming up for the Sharks as we have now gotten under the 5-minute mark. See some updated scores for you if anything has updated. Grand Oaks now leading Nimitz 31-21. Nimitz, Aldi Nimitz trying to make a move, but unfortunately Grand Oaks coming back, scoring more. Deer Park and North Shore is still 14-35. Atascocita and Dickinson is stalemated at 44 in the 3rd quarter. Iowa Colony leading Belton 54-7. As it's going to be Brandon LaFell, fakes the handoff. LaFell Jr. has nobody in front of him. He's going to take it all the way to the house for 6. And the Shadow Creek Sharks with another touchdown, and Brandon LaFell Jr. with his 2nd touchdown of the game moves the Sharks up to 57-13 over Fort Bend Bush. As LaFell did a great job of faking that handoff to his running back. Took it in the end zone for 6. Signs on for the extra point. Kick is up. And no good. Nick Signs kicks it a little bit to the right. And the Sharks still coming away 57-13. 4 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter out of Freedom Field.
Delay a game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
And back out for the Broncos is Jameer Young. He is in the backfield. Jamarian Jones in the backfield behind him. As this could be the final drive for the Fort Bend Broncos season, as Young misses a couple tackles, goes all the way to the 29-yard line. A good gain, close to the first down. They might... Now it's going to be 2nd and 5, excuse me. So 2nd and 5. Nice run there by Jamarian Jones. He's been able to move his legs very well throughout this game. Just unfortunately for him, that Shadow Creek defense has been very good. Very good this game. I don't see number 0, Langston Taylor, or number 42, Tommy Baker. So I'm sure we have some second unit guys on here for Shadow Creek. And bad snap. Young's just going to have to grab it and fall on it for a loss. So tough down for the Fort Bend Broncos, as now 3rd and long coming on for Bush. Third and 11 coming up as the clock ticks closer to 2 minutes. Give you some updated scores around the area. Dickinson leading Atascocita 51-44 in the 3rd quarter, as Young escapes the pocket, looking for somebody downfield, doesn't have anybody, and he's going to get sacked. 2 guys there is number 33 and number 34.
2-minute timeout
for Shadow Creek. Nicholas Duff and Jackson Oliver, the 2 linebackers there to bring Jameer Young down. As Shadow Creek leading the Broncos 57-13. As we're here at the 2-minute warning, go over some more scores around the area. Manville has now taken a resounding lead over Hightowers. It was tied 35-35 at the half. Manville now leads 56-35 in the 3rd quarter. Cy Falls handling Bel Air 47-3. Cinco Ranch handling Fulshire 40-14. Summer Creek taking care of Clear Springs 52-7. Jordan over Foster 24-13. Pearland leading Fort Bend Travis 35-14. C.E. King leading Clear Falls 55-7. Iowa Colony over Belton 54-7. All tied up with San Antonio, Sam Houston, and Pflugerville at 21. C.E. King over Clear Falls 42-7. Aldine Nimitz down Grand Oaks 31-21. Grand Oaks leading that game, as the punt is kicked by Robert Bankhead. It's going to go roll around right around the 46-yard line, as we got minute 51 seconds left to go here at Freedom Field for the Shadow Creek Sharks and the Fort Bend Bush Broncos. North Shore leading Deer Park 35-14. So a lot of great games. Atascocita with a field goal, looks like. Dickinson leading 51-47 still. So still a lot of great games out here in the Houston area. Great day for Texas high school football, as the Shadow Creek Sharks are a minute 51 seconds away from their first playoff win in 2025. Fell going to hand the ball off. It's going to be number 12, Deion Johnson Jr. Nice gain of 5 yards on that play. 2nd down and 5 is Shadow Creek just trying to get as much time off as they can. LaFell's got the call. He's going to hand it off. And stuffed. This time it's going to be number 40, Julian Malice, the junior running back, as Shadow Creek electing to go to their bevy of running backs here. As the clock continues to roll down, 3rd and 1. It's Javion Bryant coming on as him and Brandon LaFell Jr. able to move the ball down the field and get the first touchdown of the second half for Shadow Creek on their last drive. And with the play clock winding down, this should be the last play of the game. As LaFell is just going to hand it off to Bryant. Bryant's going to get the first down and a little bit more, as the clock will continue to roll off, and the Shadow Creek Sharks have done it. Shadow Creek coming out with the win, 57-13 over the Fort Bend Bush Broncos.
End of the game.
And just like that, Shadow Creek moves on after a resounding victory against Fort Bend Bush. What a great game by Shadow Creek. Jalen Adai was fantastic for Shadow Creek in the first half. 3 touchdowns. The 3rd touchdown of the game for Shadow Creek was Jalen Adai returning one from a punt. Had another touchdown on a screen pass and another touchdown down the field in that second quarter. 3 touchdowns for Jalen Adai on the day. Brandon LaFell coming in and making an impact on this game as well. Had 2 touchdowns, and he took over in the second half for Shadow Creek as they had a resounding 51-6 lead. For the Fort Bend Bush Broncos, it was a great game by their sophomore quarterback Jameer Young, also sophomore running back Jamarian Jones. I looked down this sheet, and there's so many sophomores and juniors on this Fort Bend Bush Broncos team that had a lot of success this year, and they're going to continue to have success in that district as they came away with a 6-5 overall. It's going to be a 6-5 overall record for the George Bush Broncos for their 2025 season. Great job by head coach Colonius McNeil and the other coaching staff for the Fort Bend Bush Broncos. Shadow Creek taking the win out here at Freedom Field at Alvin ISD, 57-13. My name's Kyle Harris. Thank you all for tuning in, and look forward to more Texas high school football coming up as the final here out at Freedom Field, Shadow Creek 57, George Bush Broncos 13.